My sister-in-law had a habit of accidentally ruining my belongings, so I ended up accidentally revealing her affair at our family reunion. It started small, the way these things usually do. The first time Belle borrowed my grandmother's pearl earrings, I later found them sitting in her jewelry box. One pearl cracked clean through. When I showed her, she gasped dramatically. "Oh my god, how did that happen? I'm so sorry. I'll replace them." She never did. 2 months later, she asked to borrow my designer jacket for a work event. I discovered it a week later, stuffed into her laundry basket, a red wine stain spreading across the silk. Another tearful apology. Another promise to pay for the dry cleaning that never happened. By the sixth incident, it was getting ridiculous. My antique vase had shattered. My leather boots were scuffed beyond repair. My grandmother's china had mysteriously chipped. At that point, I was certain none of it was accidental. My brother Dave was too blinded by his new marriage to notice. They had been married for 8 months, and Belle had managed to damage nearly every possession I owned that was nicer than hers. The breaking point came when she asked to borrow my engagement ring. It had belonged to my late mother, the one item I never let anyone touch. "Just for an hour," she begged. "The photographer says I need something sparkly for the close-ups." I refused. Her expression instantly changed, her eyes turning cold. "Fine. I was just trying to help your boring photos look better." That was the moment I knew she'd crossed a line. 2 weeks later, our family gathered for the annual reunion at my aunt's lake house. 23 relatives squeezed into one long weekend of forced fun and passive-aggressive small talk. I was already dreading it, especially knowing Belle would be there. She showed up wearing my missing cashmere sweater. "Oh, this old thing," she said when she caught me staring. "I found it at a thrift store. Crazy coincidence, right?" I gave her my sweetest smile. Absolutely crazy. That evening, everyone gathered in the living room for my aunt's beloved slideshow traditional family photos projected onto the wall while she narrated embarrassing childhood stories. I volunteered to help set up the projector, saying I wanted to be useful. What I really wanted was access to the laptop. Earlier that afternoon, I had noticed Belle sneaking away during lunch, whispering urgently into her phone. She slipped behind the boathouse, but curiosity got the better of me, and I followed. What I saw made my stomach drop. She wasn't just on a call, she was video chatting with someone. A man. Definitely not my brother. And I recognized his face from her Instagram, her coworker Marcus. "I miss you too," I heard her whisper. "Dave's family is so boring. I can't wait to get home to you." I recorded the whole thing. Now, as Aunt Patricia clicked through decades of family photos, I quietly uploaded that recording onto the slideshow laptop. All I had to do was wait for the right moment. Eventually, she reached the recent pictures, last year's reunion, this year's arrivals, and here's our newest family member, Belle, Aunt Patricia announced cheerfully. On the screen appeared Belle's smiling face from the welcome dinner the night before. The room filled with polite applause. Right after that photo, my video started. Suddenly, Belle's voice echoed through the room. "Dave's family is so boring. I can't wait to get home to you." The entire room fell silent. On the screen, perfectly clear, Belle blew a kiss toward her phone, while a man's voice responded, "I love you too, baby." Every single person turned toward Belle. She had gone pale, almost the same color as the sweater she'd stolen from me. "What? How? Did?" she stammered, looking frantically around the room. My brother slowly stood up. His face showed confusion that quickly shifted into realization. "Who is Marcus?" he asked quietly. The video kept playing. More kisses. Belle promising she would leave Dave soon. Marcus mentioning that he had already booked them a weekend getaway. Belle lunged toward the laptop, but my cousin stepped in front of her. "No need," he said calmly. "I think we've all seen enough." Dave walked out of the room without saying a word. Belle rushed after him, pleading. The rest of us sat there in stunned silence until my aunt finally cleared her throat. "Well," she said, "that was unexpected. Anyone want dessert?" 6 months later, Dave filed for divorce. Belle moved in with Marcus, who then dumped her once his own wife discovered the affair. At Christmas dinner that year, Dave thanked me. "I should have listened when you said something was off," he admitted. I smiled and adjusted my grandmother's pearl earrings, the same pair I'd had repaired with the insurance money from Belle's little accident. "Sometimes accidents happen for a reason," I replied.